Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. So this is a session on editorial analysis where we analyze editorial from the Hindu as well as from the Indian Express. So we'll try to figure it out the important relevant editorial from prelims and mains perspective. So let's get started. And before I begin, I would like to tell you that you don't need to worry during this lockdown. We are there 24/7 to support you during your prelims preparation. So we have launched Prelims Express where you can get the complete details of the prelims examination. You can avail the courses, you can avail the benefits on InstaMojo. The link is also there in the description of this video where you will get the Prelims Express video lectures. Test series are also there. So you just only need to be stay at home, stay safe and aware the benefits provided by the Apti Plus. We are just making all the possible efforts that in a 21-day lockdown, your preparation is not being hampered. And we are constantly trying to help all the aspirants who are preparing for civil service examination. So do check the description link for this initiative, Prelims Express, and you can avail the benefits via the link as well, right? Moving ahead, today is 27th of March, and these are the list of the articles that I'll be discussing with you. The in-depth analysis would have two topics today. आज मैंने दो topic लिए हैं. The first is from the Indian Express, another is from the Hindu, safeguarding the vulnerable among us and lockdown and the poor. So I'll tell you what are the other details of the editorial. Now there will be MCQs question with explanation that I'll be explaining at the end of this video. So this would be again relevant for the prelims examination. जो भी लोग prelims के इस बार देने वाले 2020 के लिए उनके लिए ये questions काफ़ी helpful होंगे. And we have a mains question also. So this would be correlated with the in-depth analysis. जो भी मैं in-depth analysis करूँगा उसी के साथ में आपको इसके questions भी पूछे जाएंगे, right? और हिंदू से दो इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल है, हाउ कैन इंडिया कंटेन द इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट ऑफ द कोविड-19 एंड डिविजिंग द पीपल सेंट्रिक रिस्पॉन्स टू कोविड. बेसिकली दिस इज 19, राइट? कोविड-19. नाउ इंडियन एक्सप्रेस से दो इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल है, लेट अस फॉलोज द एडवांटेज एंड it shouldn't take a pandemic. So these are the important editorial, almost 6 editorial are there that we'll be discussing. So first, have a look of the Indian Express, what exactly is there in the today's newspaper. So these are the two important editorial that is relevant for today's. And this is an op-ed page where the interview has been held between two important personalities. I'll tell you who are they. And this again talks about the Trump's inadequate response to the COVID-19 and the situation in America has already worsened. Almost 1,000 people has died there and the number of infection has rose to 70,000. So America is have a great concern about the people, the citizen, and as a bailout package, US has already, they have around $2 trillion of response to COVID virus basically. Okay? This is the epidemic which is impacting India, Italy, Russia, China, Spain, every country. The major economy has been impacted. And talking about the gravity of this virus, so far China, America has become the second epicenter after Italy. So the largest number of that has been reported from Italy. So we'll look into the details of other aspect of it. First, we'll have a in-depth analysis. So as I told you in the beginning, there are two in-depth analysis. The two topics are there. This is from the Hindu, that is safeguarding the vulnerable among us. So this I have taken from the Hindu, and the other is the lockdown and the poor. This is from the Indian Express. So both of this topic are relevant for general studies mains paper, and this would be relevant for general studies paper 2 precisely, where state responsibility, functions and union of the state are concerned. So from there a question can be asked, right? So what exactly both of this article talks about, what are the details they have elaborated. So they talks about the safeguarding the vulnerable, the people, the most vulnerable section of the society that cannot contain basically the spontaneous action taken from the Prime Minister that he allowed the lockdown of 21-day lockdown in the country, and this only was announced at the 8 p.m. and the applicability of this decision was from 12 midnight, right? So it is again the people who are the laborer, the bonded laborers who are working there. So they have a tough time to travel to their home. You can see in the picture. So they're moving, almost the people are traveling close to 80 kilometers to 90 kilometers to 100 kilometers for their home, right? So government should also look forward to give a solution to these people as well, because it's not possible that they could travel such long. So the entire detail has been discussed in this editorial. We'll look into the step by step. So the first is the human dimension of the COVID-19 pandemic that has reached beyond the critical health response in India. And not only India, across the world, the pandemic has expanded, and it has hugely intensified the economy, the health sector of the entire nation. Now, talking about the government measures to fight the coronavirus, stripping the poor and the dignity of the hope. So what has happened? The poor who already try to be in the mainstream, they are the daily wages earner. They have almost lost their livelihood, and what will happen to them? The another course of action has taken from government of here. There are some bailout package which already has been provided. I'll tell you the detailed part of that. Now, the effectiveness of the government response will be judged by how do we protect the weakest section of the society. So this would be the toughest task for the government of India, the Ministry of Finance. So how do they process it out? How they will contain this, the epidemic which is going to happen, and it will have repercussion in the Indian economy. Fine. So all the aspects will have a future impact. So I told you it will be impacting either a sequence and a chain of affection that will be seen in the economy and the social sector as well as the development. So these are the three important sectors. If you call out A, this would be B, and this is C. So these are the three important sectors that would be impacted, right? Now, talking about the economical relief package that come on yesterday, Ministry of Finance Nirmala Sitharaman has already announced our packages. So this is a relief package of 1.7 lakh crore rupees that aims at providing the safety needs, and though they are in the hardest time of the COVID-19 lockdown, right? So as you know, 21-day lockdown has been announced by Prime Minister, and we are on the second day of the lockdown. So I'll tell you what are the other details of the packages that has been allowed from the Ministry of Finance. So to give a boost, to give the people who are associated, the most vulnerable people, the affected people, to carry out their livelihood, government has announced. First, I'll tell you what exactly are there. The first and the foremost is there would be the insurance cover of 50 lakh rupees for doctors and all the medical worker who are fighting against the COVID-19. So this is the number one step they have taken. Now the second important step taken from the government of India is like 80 crore poor people will be provided 5 kg of wheat or rice, whichever they want, and 1 kg of pulses would be there of the preference of their choice. They can have a choose of the pulses they want. वहाँ पे किसी भी तरह की जो दालें हैं उसको वो अपने हिसाब से चूज कर सकते हैं, and this would be carry forward for 3 months. This is not annually, this would be only for 3 months, right? And the free grains can be availed in 2 installment. तो जो भी लोग लेना चाहते हैं वो इसको 2 installment में भी ले सकते हैं, right? So these are the important point. Now there has been increase in the Manrega wages, the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So वहाँ पे क्या किया गया, जो पहले वेजेस थी 182 रुपीज़ उसको बढ़ा करके 202 रुपये कर दिया गया. 202 rupees has been given. Now this would again benefit 13.362 crore families who are associated with Manrega. Now again the another step, this is the third one. Now this is the fourth step taken by the government of India. So 20.4 crore Jan Dhan account, the women account, basically the women account holder will get 500 rupees per month for the next 3 months, right? So this is again for the 3 months. So I'll tell you what the government has taken. This would contain only for 3 months. Okay. Now another step that government has taken, that of providing the ex gratia of 1000 rupees. Ex gratia means any compensatory amount that government of India gave to people during the time of emergency, right? So they are providing 1000 rupees to 3 crore senior citizen and disabled widows and the poor. Fine. Now again talking about the government of India front, so what they are doing, they are front loading 2000 rupees to 8.7 crore फार्मर. वैसे फार्मर जो कि अभी अप्रैल में क्या होता है, हार्वेस्टिंग के टाइम होती है, कटाई के टाइम होती है. सो व्हाट विल हैपन दैट दीज फार्मर विल बी अफेक्टेड. So what government is doing, they're compensating the farmer with 22,000 rupees, and this would benefit to 8.7 crore farmers. Now again, as taking the household initiatives, the problem which would be faced by the people in their daily life. So what government did, that 8.3 crores below poverty line family would receive free cylinders. So they will be receiving free cylinder. Again, this would for 3 months. So government has not announced how much cylinder they will provide, but at least 1 to 2 cylinder would be provided, right? Now that earner wages, the wage earner who earn below 15,000 rupees, so The already government had decided, the seventh pay commission has already said people should not earn, all the government sector should have minimum pay of 18,000 rupees. But here the wage earner who earn less than or below 15,000 rupees, so what government will do, the government will provide 24% of their monthly wages to their PF account. So if they are earning 15,000 rupees, so 24% of this would be given to the compensatory, as in compensatory in their PF account, right? So these are the important points. Now, the central government has also directed the state government to use the Construction Welfare Fund. So this is CWWF. So this fund would be again used by the state government to give relief to 3.5 crore registered worker. So mind you, this is only for the registered worker, and another problem which India faces, like the laborer who are working are not being registered. So this would be again a tougher task for the state government to identify the beneficiaries and give them the real-time benefits. So these are the all important measures that was taken as an economy relief announced by the Ministry of Finance. Okay, so these are some of the key points which you must remember, and this can again be used subsequently in the mains examination as an fodder point. So whatever point which I have told you, you should note it down, or you can pause this video, take a snapshot of it and keep it safely, right? And this I have taken from the Hindu. So those of you who have access to e-copy, they can save this picture also. Now moving ahead, there are some expert opinion. They said that there's an economist called Jayati Ghosh. She has estimated that the damage of 2-day lockdown was greater than the full impact of the demonetization. तो इनका कहना कि डिमोनेटाइजेशन के टाइम में जितनी क्षति पहुंची है लोगों को पूरे एक महीने तक, उसका सिर्फ ये 2 दिनों में ये चीज़ें उतना नुकसान अभी हो चुका है इकोनॉमी को, राइट? नाउ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट एस्टिमेट की अगर बात करें ILO, दैट इज इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, सो दे हैव एस्टिमेटेड दैट 25 मिलियन पीपल कुड बिकम अनएम्प्लॉयड. सो आप देख सकते हो 25 मिलियन से ज़्यादा लोग अनएम्प्लॉयड हो सकते हैं with a loss of work income, and almost the loss of the economy would be $3.4 trillion. Fine. Now, however, it has already been clear that these numbers may underestimate the magnitude of the impact. Fine. And the pandemic has again miraculously exposed the deep fault in the inner line of our labor market. So it is very essential for country like India, where social security scheme need to be implemented at right place, right track, identifying the beneficiary, and the labor market which is there in India has again not been very intensified or not be very socialized. Fine. Not talking about the enterprises and the all sizes that have already stopped their operation, cut working hours and laid off the staff. So what they're doing, the enterprises who are already witnessing losses, so what they're doing, they're trying to fire off the employees. They're cutting hours so that they don't have to pay the full salary to the employees. So that they're cutting the hours of the employees, right? And most of the enterprises are almost stop their operation amid the lockdown of the country. Fine. Now, what would be the way forward for you as a student? What you would write in the mains examination? So this would be, you'd be writing that unprecedented expansionary fiscal and monetary policy would be again very essential to prevent the current headlock downturn and becoming the prolonged recession. So these are some of the important measures, explanatory fiscal measures and monetary policy measures that could lead economy revival. And we must make sure that people do have enough money in their pocket and make it to the end of the week. And as a measures, RBI has already announced, you must have read in the newspaper that RBI is taking all the precautionary measures. There is a cut in the repo rate, and RBI has also told that the EMIs would be again be installing for 3 months. So they have requested the lenders to not deduct the EMI for next 3 months. So whoever are there in the EMI, so they have a relief that they would not have to pay for coming 3 months. Now, the measures would also be needed for the most vulnerable workers, including the self-employed, part-time worker, and those employed in the temporary employment. So they may not qualify the unemployment or health insurance who are harness to each other. Fine. So definitely the government of India, when make any of the program, any of the decision, so these people are need to be mostly taken into the concern, the temporary workers, the part-time worker, so that their livelihood do not get impacted. Right. So this would be the important way forward. Now, moving ahead with the important question of the day. So, on these, basically what we have discussed in in-depth analysis, उसी पे एक मेंस क्वेश्चन है. तो discuss how government could support the poor people to overcome the livelihood stress and survival of an individual. So मैंने जो भी आपके साथ डिस्कस किया है in-depth analysis में, उसी पे ये मेंस का सवाल है. तो आप आंसर लिख सकते हैं and you can give our the PDF format, whatever you write, take a snap and convert into the PDF and write your name, that whomever is sending from which place. The WhatsApp number is there in the description. You can check the description section. और आप हमें अपनी कॉपी भेज सकते हैं. We will evaluate it and we'll resend it to you via WhatsApp number. Fine. Now coming to the other important editorial of the Hindu. So this is again relevant for the Gender Studies paper 2, where functions responsibility of union and state is concerned. So this talks about revisiting the people-centric response to COVID-19. So this is written by Chief Minister of Kerala, and he talks about the pandemic and the lockdown in the country and the responsibility of state. So this is the time where a center-state relation has to be a full cordial relationship. And amid the practical basically implementation, अभी राज्य सरकार की सबसे ज़्यादा जिम्मेवारी बनेगी कि वो इस दायित्व को किस तरह से निभाते हैं, राइट. उसके बाद it is very important that it must take the leadership role in enforcing the lockdown and uphold the dignity of people. So it is very essential the people who are vulnerable, their life should not be impacted and they should not live हंगर लाइफ. सो अभी इसी क्रम में दिल्ली में जो अभी बेसिकली जो न्यूज़ आ रही है कि वहाँ पे सरकार ने कोशिश की है कि दे वुड फीड ऑलमोस्ट 4 लाख पीपल एवरी डे. Fine. So almost the laborer who are migrated from UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal, any other state. So they have make a hub. So they are trying to reside the people at the hub and they'll be feeding those people, right? And the lockdown period would again be used by center not just to break down the infection chain, but also to isolate the. So what government should do? This is from the. This is the care which is given from all the people and all the corner of the society. They want that the infected people should be identified, they should be isolated, and they should be given the equal degree of hospitalization that is required. And you must have seen the yesterday interview of the South Korea diplomat who was there. He told that you need to identify whoever is infected, you need to track them, you need to isolate them, and you need to treat them. This is the only option that is left with the country right now. So working together on the health would be again the pivotal for the country like India. And talking about the Kerala approach, so this editorial basically talks about the Kerala's approach and how they have given a roadmap to overcome this epidemic, right? So Kerala is making its utmost efforts to ensure that the supply of essential commodities, particularly the food and medicine, is not being impacted. और केरला ने इसी क्रम में जो PDS है, जो पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम है, उसमें भी किसी भी तरह की कोताही करने के लिए जितने भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे जो भी मजिस्ट्रेट हैं या फिर स्टेट लेवल पे जितने भी सेक्रेटरीज हैं, उनको बेसिकली ये इंस्ट्रक्ट किया है कि जो PDS है वो प्रॉपर तरीके से इम्प्लीमेंट हो, सभी लोगों को PDS की सुविधाएं दी जाए. एंड इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट हैज़ डायरेक्टेड, जो वहाँ पे इंडस्ट्रीज डिपार्टमेंट है, they have also been directed that the public sector enterprises to raise the production and supply of hand sanitizer bottles. And government has fixed the floor price कि इससे ज़्यादा आप सैनिटाइज़र का प्राइस नहीं रख सकते हो. The prices which is there is close to 30 to 50 rupees, right? तो इस बीच प्राइस फिक्स करने की बात की गई है. Now economic package that has come from the state in Kerala. So this is the first state which has announced 25,000 crore rupees during the financial year 2021. So इस एडिटोरियल में अलग सेक्शंस बताए गए हैं कि जो इकोनॉमिकल पैकेजेस है वो किन किन सेक्टर के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो आप यहाँ से डिटेल पढ़ सकते हो कि किस सेक्टर के लिए कितने अमाउंट सेग्रीगेट किए गए हैं. बट फॉर यू इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट दैट यू नो कि 25,000 crore rupees हैज़ बिन एलोकेटेड for the economic packages to overcome this epidemic, right? Now the other important editorial, this is again in the Hindu and relevant for your gender studies paper 2, where issues related to development and management of health is there. So this is basically an interview which every Friday it used to be. So the COVID-19 pandemic has effectively brought the normal life and halt in India. Almost the entire life has brought into the hold. And the importance of social distancing has already been there in the peak. Many of the social celebrities as well, they're trying to tell people what exactly the social distancing is all about. And the government must also focusing on health and livelihood issue at the same time. So this is an interview by Naushad Forbes and Govind Rai. So Naushad is basically a president of Confederation of basically CIA, and he's a co-chairman of Forbes Marshall. And so Govinda Rai is an economic advisory council to the Prime Minister in the Fourth Finance Commission. Fine. So there's an interview which definitely you must read. And there are some other important fodder point that you should note down for the mains examination. Now moving ahead to the Indian Express, here I'll discuss the two important editorial, that is, let us false advantage and it's not take the pandemic. Fine, these two are the important editorial that I'll be discussing, and these I have already taken in the in-depth analysis because two editorial were on the same line, on the same parameters, so I have taken them. This is not relevant for the mains, neither for prelims examination, and this again talk about the role and responsibility of the state that need to be taken, and the aid from the center that should be given to the state. So this is again a small editorial which we have already discussed in a previous editorial, so I'm not considering this to be discussed on today's. Fine, so these two are the important one. Let follows the advantage. So this talks about the historical perspective, and talking about the relevance of this editorial, this would be again relevant for general studies paper 2. So this is again written by Kaushik Basu, and he has compared basically a historical perspective has been given that the fatality number that was there in the pandemic which already has happened in Asia. So talking about the Asian flus, almost 1.1 million people has been found dead. This was during 1957 to 1958, and in Hong Kong, because of flu, the 1968 2 million people were found dead. And in India, precisely, if you remember the Bengal famine, which happened in 1943. So this has also led to the number of people who died, and this was only because of the hunger. Fine, but there were again disruption. The supply chain was not being properly implemented. Although we have a stockpile of foods, but again the revolution which began after 1943, the Green Revolution was only began after the famine of the West Bengal. Fine. Now what makes this pandemic special is that happening that age of digital connectivity and greater scientific knowledge. So talking about 1940s, we do not have such technical advancement, we do not have some digital connectivity, but in the era of 2020, which already we have achieved a good number of technology upgradation in terms of healthcare, in terms of scientific up developments, but again we have been hit such a way that the entire world has been put into the shutdown, right? And in confronting the coronavirus, India first move have to be right, because what has happened in the South Korea, because what India has taken a step that already was taken by South Korea. They have already had a 21-day lockdown in their country, and but one thing they did which India is not doing, उन्होंने वहाँ पे जितने लोग थे सबको आइडेंटिफाई करके उनको आइसोलेट किया. द पीपल हु वर इन्फेक्टेड, दे वर आइडेंटिफाइड, आइसोलेटेड इन द हॉस्पिटल. बट दिस इज नॉट बीइंग डन फ्रॉम इंडियन गवर्नमेंट. So this is what should be done. This is being suggested by Kaushik Basu. And global की अगर बात करें तो Goldman Sachs has estimated that जो US की जो GDP है that would again decline by 24% in the second quarter of this year. So US has been mostly hit the among the all developed nation. China के बाद जो सबसे ज़्यादा economical problem जो आई है वो US के साथ आई है, और सबसे ज़्यादा जो चाइना के बाद जो नंबर ऑफ डेथ रिपोर्ट की गई है दैट इज़ फ्रॉम द इटली. वहाँ पे अभी तक 7,300 के आसपास लोग मारे जा चुके हैं, राइट? So this is what is being talked in this editorial. We have the another editorial from the Indian Express. So this talks about the hygiene issues, basically importance of hand washing and how it should be taken care that it should be made as a habit to entire people of this country. So this threat has again called for an opportunity where we have to make hand wash as a default behavior, and it should be then health objective. और इंडिया ने जिस तरह से स्वच्छ भारत मिशन को आगे बढ़ाया था, स्वच्छ भारत मिशन वाज अगेन अ बिहेवियरल चेंज विच हैज़ इम्पैक्टेड अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल, और जिसकी वजह से काफ़ी बीमारियां इंडिया में कम हुई है. एंड इंक्रीजिंग द स्कोप ऑफ स्वच्छ भारत ODF, दैट इज ओपन डिफेक्शन फ्री, टू ODF प्लस, राइट? एंड यूनिसेफ ने भी कहा है कि हैंड वॉशिंग इज एन time where we can save million of the lives, especially talking about the children below 5, जहाँ पे डायरिया का रेट भी ऑलरेडी 40% कम हो गया था सिर्फ हैंड वॉश करने की वजह से. So this is what a lesson can be learned, a global experience can be learned, and this should be made compulsory after post corona epidemic as well. हमसे जितने जल्दी निजात पालें उसके बाद भी हैंड वॉश को मैंडेटरी कर देना चाहिए, चाहे वो स्कूल लेवल पे हो चाहे वो ऑफिस लेवल पे हो, इसको मैंडेटरी करने की बात की गई है इस एडिटोरियल में, राइट. So this is again important. Now moving ahead to the important question of the day. So the first question is on modern history. So you have to tell me which among the following statement is correct. Brahmo Samaj pioneered the cause of widow remarriage, and Pandit Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar proactively participated in it. Okay, so these are the two important statements which you have to consider. Only one is correct, only two is correct, both one and two, or neither of them. So you can pause this video, read out the statement, and let us know the correct answer, right? So the correct answer for this is C, that statement one is correct. Both Brahma Samaj has since issues the widow remarriage high agenda and much to do popularize it. And second statement goes by Pandit Chand Vidyasagar in 1820 to 91, the principal of Sanskrit College in Calcutta, Hindu Widows Remarriage Association Act in 1857. So he legalized the widow remarriage and declared issues from the such marriage as legitimate, passed by the government. And Vidyasagar cited the Vedic text to prove the Hindu religion sanctions widow remarriage. So these are some of the important explanation that you should read, because it would be again relevant in any other question asked by the UPSC, right? तो आप explanation को जरूर से ध्यानपूर्वक पढ़ें. Now the second question is from the current affair with regards to Asia-Africa Growth Corridor. Which of the following area is the focus of this project? With the research and the development in technology, quality infrastructure and institutional connectivity, capacity and skill enhancement, people-to-people partnership. So you have to tell me which among the following is the correct code. You can pause this video and can read the statement. So the correct statement for this would be C, that is Asia-Africa Growth Corridor is a joint initiative of India and Japan. The prime focus of this among the four areas: development and cooperation, quality infrastructure and institutional connectivity, capacity and skill advancement, and people-to-people partnership. So these are the four core important areas, right? So this was the important question. Now a benefit for you that you can avail 5 online mock test which you can avail only at ₹10. मैंने इसके भी जो लिंक है वो डिस्क्रिप्शन सेक्शन में दे दिए हैं, आप वहाँ से चेक कर सकते हो और रजिस्टर करके इसका बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं, राइट. And again a concern for you that please follow the instruction of the government of India, that what are the do's and don'ts that you should follow during the lockdown, and these are only the preventive measures that we can take to make ourselves secure from the coronavirus. So do follow it, spread the awareness to other people as well. So this was today's editorial analysis. Do not forget to like this video, subscribe our Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. So stay tuned. Most of the online basically material which is there, which is relevant for the prelims and mains examination, would be coming in the YouTube. So stay tuned, subscribe the channel so that you get benefit out of it, right? And I sincerely thank you for listening to this video. If you have any other concern, do let me know. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I am signing off. Thank you so much.